How about a busy Saturday, July 9th for everybody? A lot to talk about, a lot to do today. While I was waiting for baseball lineups to be updated, which is just a really boring process. Like I'm waiting. I was like looking at football because I'm waiting for baseball to be updated. And I was like, It's like I wonder if while I'm waiting for baseball lineups to be updated, because let's face it, baseball's a lot of waiting, guys, right? Like it's waiting for games to end, it's waiting for pitches to be thrown, it's waiting for sunflower seeds to be thrown onto the field before all out brawls. It's waiting for stuff. That's what baseball's all about. And so I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm like, you know what? I like watching football better. I like watching hockey, but I actually like watching football the best of all sports to watch. It has just an element of the touchdowns and the interceptions and people getting crushed and Brady continuing to defy age and all of these things that make me like football more. And everybody asks about football, and football is the biggest draw, and football is football. So we're going to start off this video thanking somebody. We're going to thank profootballreference.com. They ask us, I just got an email from the Washington Commanders. Hilarious. They must have heard me say the word Commanders a million times in the last half hour while I was updating their name. So anyway, let's get back to Pro Football Reference for a second. Profootballreference.com. They say, when you use this, please, like, if you try to do any of these things, like when using data, please cite us, provide link in or mention. You should absolutely use their website, browse their ads, patronize them. I'm sure they have a subscription for something. I haven't ever paid them for anything, the same way that I pay RotoWire for a monthly subscription to get access to their stats. I wouldn't be adverse to paying a few bucks a month to use some of this information, even though it is free. But they put the schedule up, and that allowed me to update NFL today and to get all the preseason games in here and to start the layout for the new algorithm for the new season in 2022. And while it is not even close to ready for even the first preseason game yet, it actually does render projections already for the entire season. Doesn't give you point projections yet because we don't have rosters and everything all corrected and everything's all screwed up. But it does have, like, week one already has lines and stuff. So it's kind of like, who does the algorithm think, based on whatever distribution we're messing around with here, is the best pick in week one, or even preseason week 0 or week 1? How about that? Because it still works for preseason a lot of times. It says like the Patriots over the Giants is a really good pick in preseason. It's 65% margin. Cleveland over Jacksonville, apparently. Teams that are fighting, whatever. But then week 1, it's got this. You can actually do the whole season, and so you can get started. So I'm going to get back to baseball in a minute after I talk myself silly here with football for a minute, but you can purchase this season subscription where you get an email from me every week with the updated file as I continue to do work to this thing. And you're going to be able to get on this for $150. You get it for the whole year. That's less than $10 a week. Later in the year, when I start doing month to month, I charge $100 a month. This thing is rolling. I'm busy and I'm annoyed because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work updating injuries. It's a lot of work updating rosters. I'm going to be going through every player multiple times throughout the period of preseason because they cut people so frequently and change rosters. So everything's going to be a complete disaster, but it was worth it last year, as it was pretty good for preseason last year. So anyway, that is available now, and you can get started. And just to prove it to you, I'm going to show you, of all the games, preseason and regular season, for this new Commanders. I had to type the word Commanders multiple times. I hope I typed it right. Once I called them Comadres, I forgot the N. I was like, no, N yet? Comadres? I think that means the with your mothers. They should change their name to With Your Mother instead of Washington Football Commander, whatever they are. Well, let's see. What's the best? Look at this schedule. I mean, how beautiful is this right here? Right? This is like, which game, if you had to pick Washington one game, apparently it's week 1. I don't know how good Jacksonville is. We, of course, need new rosters, and this is incredibly preliminary. Which week is Washington supposed to get crushed? 134% they're supposed to lose to Dallas. Clearly, we need to do some work here. But anyway, point is, that's how cool this thing is. What's your favorite team? Growing up, I was a Giants fan. Giants are in trouble. They had a terrible year last year, and these stats show that. What's a team that did well, like Cincinnati? How would they look? Look at that. It has Cincinnati winning, like every time it's a positive number here, it's them winning a game and negatives losing. So it looks like, they go 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, and what are we at? 17 game season this year. So 11 and 6. Is that right? Oh, there's preseason in here too. Sorry, there's preseason games in here also. So you can remove the preseason and just look at the regular season, and you get something like that. It has them going only losing 6 games this year. I guess 11 and 6, right? How's Detroit going to do this year? Oh, 2 and 15. They'll beat Jacksonville and they'll beat the Jets. I mean, look how fun is this, right? Giants losing everything. Chargers, not good. Now, well, what we need to do work. Let me not act like these are predictions yet, because they are not. They are not even close. But you're going to get a lot of workout of me on this, and it's enjoyable because watching this sitting down for a Sunday, or you can see what they end up doing with days. We end up having football. This is last year's results are in here. Everything's in here. You're going to get started. There were games last year, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I mean, there was weird COVID games. There's games even on Tuesday. And then you got Thanksgiving. That was probably like a Thanksgiving or Christmas or something going on there, right? So, all right, guys, that's football. Let's get back to baseball for anybody who's still here wanting baseball picks for the day. And then we'll run a little quick update for today as well, because I did make a bet, a small bet, because I don't really want to, I got other work to do today. As you can see, I did football waiting for baseball lineups to be announced. So anyway, go to profootballreference.com. They're great. They deserve it. They deserve everything good that comes their way. Now, as for baseball, if you've got a lot of time today. ¿Tú tienes mucho tiempo a escuchar a baseball or mirar a baseball? Es posible. All right. Copy the lineups. We got a bunch of lineups that just updated. NFL, we will see you later. You can go buy a copy if you want. Baseball is right here. We're going to refresh. Refresh one more time. I don't know if I pressed it. We're going to get a batting order pivot, see if there's anybody that falls out. Nobody does. We're going to look at our lineup factors, make sure none of them are 0. They are not. We're going to refresh our pivot. Wow, stuff moved around a lot. And on top of that, we're going to go now update the Google Sheet where we have our current predictions and 3 people hanging out watching. Okay. So that's in there. And which lineups were confirmed? The answer is all the way, not Houston, not Miami, but almost everyone else till the 7 o'clock games. So not Houston, not Miami, but almost everybody else till the 7 o'clock game. So not Houston, not Miami. Okay. So that's good. We've just now updated this at 1:35 p.m. All right, or yeah, AM, not AM, PM. AM, PM. Let's talk in California gas stations. All right, AM, PM. So what this shows, if we look at our pivot and also the round robin calculator, which I want to show you in a second, is nothing new. A lot of favorites up top. Yankees, we have a little higher than the odds makers do. We have this crazy Detroit underdog because their pitchers got very, very limited stats. And so that's a tough one because this game here, if he pitches like AAA instead of like he has in his 6 innings, they actually lose by a run. Even though his stats are okay. Now they're not that great in AAA. So whatever, he's had 6 really good innings to start in the pros. We'll see if that stays the way it is. So what I did before these lineups were announced, because I wasn't going to wait and I'm going to move on to other work, was I made a pick, and I also did it in the round robin calculator. Oh my God, we have even more to talk about in this video, which is the round robin calculator that has been added. And you can simulate wagers, round robin parlay combinations with different number of picks. And I have 7 picks right here. I took the under in this Detroit White Sox game because both simulations had that under 8.5 runs. Same thing with Philadelphia, St. Louis, and the wind is blowing in St. Louis heavily. So I took the under 9 there. Baltimore, Texas, Tampa Bay, Cleveland, that showed them being pretty strong winners. And I took an alternate over in this Washington, Atlanta game because it says Atlanta puts up a lot of runs. I've seen Corbin pitch. It's difficult for him not to put up a lot of runs. As you can see, his ERA is one of the reddest here. Atlanta, it's hot there today. There might be rainouts on a couple of these games. As you can see, actually, there's a lot of different rain potential today. When you look at weather here. So you've got potentially the Baltimore game, as it was raining here outside the nation's capital today, rain in Atlanta, I guess. And yeah, just those two, a little bit in Cincinnati, and a little bit in St. Louis as well, with the wind blowing in there. So, so anyway, the point of all that was that the picks I made there, you know, I have a good line on the end there, hoping for a lot of runs. You know, the algorithm says kinda they could get there. The alternate score for that game is 11 runs total, and I have over 11 and a half, so I'm hoping to get lucky. Probably should have done over 10 and a half, but $25.33. This is the point. This is not, you know, this is like, you know, dinner. This is like a one-person heavy dinner, in my opinion. This is what I'm wagering, and we'll see. You're probably wagering the way I did. You're probably going to end up with enough to buy dinner, even if you don't have a great day. So let's assume that I made a mistake here and this game doesn't go over. All right. Now all of a sudden you get $111 back instead of your 573, where you make 21 to 1 on your money. You know, if you don't have an amazing day, you go, but still a very good day, you go 6 and 1, you make 3.5 to 1, right? $111. Well, what if that Detroit pitcher gets hit a ton and this game goes over 8.5? Now all of a sudden you're only making 29%, but you're still making a little bit, and this is still dinner. But what if Baltimore gets rained out? I actually didn't put the push option in here. I forgot to do that. Sorry, there's another thing for push. I wonder if that works. Let's try it right now. Let's see if it might actually even work. Let's see here. So data validation, what we're changing is we are saying win, lose, or push. Oops. Save. Let's see if they all have that option now. No, just this one did. Let's move this back to win for a second. Let's bring this down. And let's see if we have that option now. Yep, let's see what happens. The payout does change. I think that's right. Push is a complicated one because it actually voids the bet. And so I believe I'm calculating that right. So you can see if you tie, but you can't tie that game. you could tie this game of the under 9. So if you tied this game, you'd only get $383 back if you win the rest of them. So interesting to look at it that way. But the round robin calculator is fun because you don't have to just bet $25, and you also don't have to bet it in this way. You can be like, all right, well, I don't care unless I hit like almost all of these. I'm just going to do 5, 6s, and 7s for $145. And look at this. If you hit all 7, you win $5,600, right? Or bet 61 to win 3,160 because you've got $5 on the parlay. That's the thing. The parlay. Oh, geez, what did I just do? What did I just do? Wrong here. The parlay itself, right here, pays 109 to 1 if you can get all of these, right? Or 110 to 1 of those. So that's why this starts to pay so much. But you can start messing around with all kinds of different things and see whatever your wager is. And then like, all right, well, what happens if you lose one when you're going for this big thing here, right? If you lose one, you go from $2,900 to only $355. This is why it's really fascinating to do it this way, is that you can have some really amazing rubber match games at the end of the night or something where your swing is insane. You're like, how do I have a $2,200 swing or whatever that was, $2,500 swing when I only bet $68? Like how did that happen? And I still win, you know, if you still go 6 and 1. And the answer is this is the way it happens. Is it's tough to pick so many games and you get rewarded for getting them all right. And the algorithm has a way if you micro bet a lot of these different scenarios, as I'll tend to do when I focus on it for a day. And certainly I'll do that for football season where you've got one day and you kind of want to just like make a slew of different round robins, unrelated outcomes sort of, and you can have a real fun with one major day and then not do it as much the rest of the week. With baseball, it's essentially every day, and it becomes exhausting. as well as it's not really that fun to watch. It's kind of fun to listen to when you have something else going on. I will say that about baseball. It's like, it's the working man sport, in my opinion. It's por trabajando. It's, oyer cuando trabajando, because it's on for hours. The announcers are telling stories and being entertaining as well as playing the game. And we all, we like to hear the crack of the bat. In that sense, I find it enjoyable, but I don't find it as 100% of dedicating my time, as noted by literally doing football while I was just simply waiting for those lineups to get in there. Like, that's what baseball is all about. It's a whole lot of waiting. And anyway, that's the update here for Saturday afternoon. I'm actually on to completely other work. So as soon as the rest of these lineups get up, I'm just going to post this for everybody and finalize. And you guys can have good luck, and hopefully your picks will be winning. And if you're interested in football, it is now available, and you can see you'll get that file that you saw me just working with to start messing with now. And you'll get another email right around August, right beginning of August, as preseason starts. And then every week thereafter as it gets updated. And that should be a whole lot of fun, as it usually is. All right, guys. So good luck, everybody. May all your picks be winning. And if you do one thing, enjoy listening to baseball today. That's what I would say your one thing you should do today. If you want to do anything. All right, good luck, guys.